What's up? Hope everyone can hear me well. Using some new equipment today. I give Facebook here a moment to see if we can get some more people on this here video. I put some notes up and Facebook fucked with the formatting, so I can upload these better in a minute here and see if we can change that. Hey, if you're just joining the call, give me some hearts, some thumbs up, some likes. That'll kind of fake Facebook's algorithm into letting everyone else know that we're on live, and hopefully we'll get some other people to join. See some familiar faces here on the call, which is cool. Welcome, welcome. So I'm going to just go over some stuff here, and I'm going to call it probably something that you guys don't think about it, or you might not think of yourself in this light, but it's just the actual reality. So the whole thing that got this kicked off and why I'm on here tonight for this live is that I had several people over the past 2 weeks reach out to me and ask me the same question, like, "Oh man, how do I get in the door with all the big boys? You know, how do I get involved with, you know, this provider, that provider? How do I increase my business?" And what it all boils down to is sales. And I know that, you know, some people in here are allergic to salespeople and yada, yada, yada. But the truth of the matter is that everyone, in my opinion, is a salesperson. If you've ever made a single dollar in your life, you have had to have applied some kind of sales skills in order to obtain that dollar. So I posted up some notes here. Like I said, the formatting got a little screwed up when I copied and pasted them. But if you look here, there's a lot of stuff, and I'm kind of going to use that as my outline tonight. I'll dive in a little bit deeper and go over some of the things that I've done personally and continue to do that allow us to not only build new relationships with GPS providers, camera providers, resellers, so on and so forth, but also allow us to follow up with them and keep our relationships in good standings. And also just say, hey, here's a reminder, how you doing? And we use some tools for it. We get a little advanced with it over here at Top Class, to be quite honest with you. But when you're first starting out, I mean, just getting there and doing this manually is going to make a huge difference in your business. So let's dive in here and get started. All right. So the first thing you need to do is you need to determine who your target is. I listed up here some of the top 5 targets that we typically would go after. So if you're a GPS installation tech or you have a crew of guys, whatever the case is, determine who you're going after. Are you going after the manufacturer partner? You know, is it, I don't want to mention names here, but we all know who they are. We'll just leave it at that. I don't want to get yelled at. It wouldn't be the first time. Number 2, are you going after a dash camera company? Number 3, are you going after a smaller reseller? So someone who might be a reseller for, you know, one of the other companies out there, the TomToms, the who else is out there? You know, so some of the small companies, the Samsaras. You know, are you going after them? Someone who's reselling Smart Witness, something like that. Number 4, are you going after subprime auto lenders? You know, are you going after the lender themselves, or are you going after a GPS company that focuses on those lenders? You know, do you want to get involved and deal with starter kills? These are all questions you got to kind of sit back and ask yourself and determine who you're going after. Another one that a lot of us do here is we try to go out and we want to subcontract for some larger GPS installation companies. That's another good way to keep yourself busy. So you're letting those guys go out there, do the sales, get all the work for you, and you're going to sub for them and pretty much, let's just call a spade, pick up the table scraps. But you know, if you're a 1-man or a 2-man show, that could be a good living for you, to be quite honest with you. You keep busy, you can work hard, but you can make good money. So once you've actually sat down and determined who it is that you're going after, what your target is, what I found in today's day and age, the best thing to do is leverage social media. And you got to use social media and not be used by social media. And what I mean by that is, don't waste your fucking time on Facebook all day, jerking off. Don't go on LinkedIn and just scroll all day and look and like, and ooh, look at that. And the same thing for LinkedIn. You need to use these tools because they're free. They don't cost you $1 unless you're running ads on them. Use them to go out there and prospect. So one of the things that I do is you kind of want to determine where your prospects are hanging out. And I mean, if you think about that logically, your first thought goes to LinkedIn. All right. And we're gonna touch and talk on LinkedIn here in a second. Another thing to keep in mind is make sure that you're posting for your prospects. So, what kind of information are you putting on social media? Are you even posting on a normal basis? If you're not posting on social media, I hate to break it to you, no one's going to know who the fuck you are, for the most part. So if you want to go get on social media, start posting things up, get on LinkedIn, post up. I don't care if it's once a week, once a day, twice a day, 3 times a day. There's actually a book on this that's really kick-ass that will give you the exact methodology of exactly when, where, and how, and what to post on social media. I'll throw that up in the comments afterwards. It's called Social Media Millions. It's written by Ryan Stewman. He's like the master at leveraging social media. I'll actually show you a picture of it in a minute here. I have it behind me in my bookshelf. So once you start post up some stuff on a regular basis for your prospects. So I see a lot of the guys in the group. I mean, I follow you outside of the GPS tracking group. I see your personal pages. I see your business pages. And a lot of you guys do a really kick-ass job of posting up, job site photos, what you're working on. Hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm driving to my next location. This is what it looks like. Oh, look at this cool shit that we're working on today as a company. That's cool stuff. You're letting the whole world know exactly what you do. And you're going to speak to a specific niche of people that is going to be attracted to you and your business. I can't tell you how many times that someone has reached out to me or my company just because they've seen us on social media, and it's turned into a sale. All right, so first things first, let's go over LinkedIn. The way that I happen to be super successful with LinkedIn was, number one, and I don't have this listed here in the notes, you guys need to have a professional looking profile on all of your social media platforms. I actually shot a video on this a couple weeks back. It's even on my YouTube channel. If you check me out, go to Thomas Keenan, T-O-M-A-S Keenan at YouTube. You can check it out. It's a quick video on there. It basically tells you what you need to do to set up your Facebook profile. And that same thing pretty much transfers over to Instagram or LinkedIn. With a couple of different tweaks that you can throw in there. But you have to have a profile picture. You have to have a picture of yourself. You have to give a description of who you are, what you do, what you're into. And that could be outside of work too. Like for instance, I don't know if you guys could see around here, but hold on. I hunt. I shoot guns. I shoot deer. And it's part of me, and I'm not afraid to tell the whole world that that's what I do. That right there has actually kicked open the door and allowed me to go out and meet other people in the world, even within this industry. So don't be afraid to tell people what you're into and your hobbies. All right, so get that crap into your profile. So once you get your profile set up on your social media platform, and this is what specifically worked really well for me on LinkedIn, you need to start sending connection requests to anyone related to the industry, and you need to target people who work for the company that you're going after. So if you're going after ABC GPS company, go on there and send a connection request to anybody who is associated or works with that company. Eventually what that's going to do is get you closer to the people who you need to target and speak to directly. From that point, once that person accepts your request, you want to slide into their DM and send them a message. And don't jump right into it and be like, oh, hey, I'm Johnny Dickhead, GPS installer, and I want your business. Send me your business now. Like, that's just not the way it works. Like, if you met that person in real life, you wouldn't walk up to them and give them that line of shit. So what I suggest and what has worked well for me and several others, because I've learned it from other people, is to go in there and start a legitimate conversation. Like, have a genuine conversation with these people. You know, hey, what's going on? I'm Tom from Top Class, and you know, this is what I'm looking to do. I see you're located in blah 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 blah. That's cool. You know, I got a job site in, you know, in that area that we just wrapped up for, you know, so and so customer, and you start to build a little bit of a rapport with these people, and then after a little bit of back and forth with the conversation, you know, hey man, you know, this is what we do. We're an installation provider, and we specialize in X, Y, and Z. Are you the person who I can speak to in regards to possibly sending us installation work? And if not, if you happen to know who that is, could you please, you know, give me their contact info? Bro, it's as simple as it is. There's two things that are going to happen, or actually three things. One, the person's going to not respond to you, which happens occasionally. So, all right, whoop-de-doo. Big deal. Number two, they're going to tell you, nope, I don't know who that is. Okay. All right. Same thing. Big deal. No sweat off your balls. Number three, the person's going to say, hey, oh, look at this. You know what? I think you should speak to John Smith over in this department, and he's probably the best person to help you out. Matter of fact, here's his direct line with his extension and his email address. Once you have that, I mean, it's just simple. But the key to it is you got to follow up, and we're gonna dive in a little bit deeper to follow up in a minute. And then from there, once I got that person's information, it's kind of just, you know, go after them, give them a call, send them an email, connect directly with them on social media. You know, honestly, be a stalker. Find them on LinkedIn, find them on Facebook, find them on Instagram, find them in other areas. And however you have to, connect with that person. So I think that that's a really, really good thing that's worked out for us. I want to say a couple things regarding Facebook and Instagram. I hear a lot of people kick back to me when I talk about Facebook for business. And so the stats are, as of January 2019, that Facebook has 2.3 billion users. That's a lot of people. And most people who are somewhat tech savvy, which if you guys haven't noticed, we're in a tech savvy industry. So most of them are going to be on Facebook. Instagram is coming up, and I have a very my prediction is Instagram is just going to crush Facebook over the next couple of years. So if you're not on Instagram now, start to get familiar with it, because it's going to be big. And there's a lot of cool things going on with Instagram. You know, you can set up if you go to Instagram, you can set up a personal account, or it asks you if you'd like to set it up as a business account. I suggest setting it up as a business account, because once you get to a certain point, as far as how many followers, you can get the swipe up feature. You can also run ads to your Instagram account, which is something that we're going to start leveraging more and more over here at Top Class over the next 12 months. So, you know, I want to get in here now and kind of circle back to the follow-up. So follow-up is where the fuck you money is, as far as I'm concerned. And this is where a lot of guys, especially in our business, we suck at it. You know, listen, let's just be honest. Most of us here are technicians at heart. And, you know, we get slow, and then we go and we put the salesperson hat on to go gain the sales for our business. And then we get busy because we sold too much, and we struggle because, holy shit, how am I going to get all this work done that we just, you know, sold? And you go and you put your technician hat on for 3 months, and you forget about the sales. And what happens is your business is just this roller coaster, up and down, up and down. So, you know, when you're up here and you're cranking, you're bringing in all that money because you're busy in the field, and your sales, they dive, they dump right off. And then what happens is this: you go down on the roller coaster and you hit rock bottom, and then you say, oh shit, I got to get back into sales mode. And you get back to sales mode, and then you creep back up and you get busy, and it's a vicious cycle. So, and that's a whole other conversation that we can have another day if you guys want to get into that, which I can talk about that shit for 3 days as well. So getting back to follow-up. Follow-up isn't easy, especially if you're in that, you know, mode of the technician or the small business owner where you're putting on a different hat for every role within a company. But the follow-up is imperative. You know, today people are on average faced with like over 5,000 ads a day that are thrown in front of them between TV, social media, the radio, and whatnot. And people are super distracted. So a lot of times it's not that the person doesn't want to deal with you. They might have simply forgotten about you, or they just got too damn busy. So don't think you're being a pest or an asshole if you're following up. And the follow-up is simple. I mean, it could be a simple message on Messenger. It could be a DM on Instagram. It could be you sending an email. It could be you actually picking up the phone and calling someone, even though a lot of people are scared to do that today. You just have to do it. I mean, you got to keep touching these people, and eventually the people are going to come around and you're going to gain some sales. You know, think about this. And this happened to me. So, you know, it's legit. We started working for this big company a couple of years back. Okay. I'm not going to mention any names. I literally tried for 3 years to get in with this company. 3 years. I had a direct line to the top person in this company. And every time I called them, he's like, nah, not interested. Nah, nope, can't help you. No, we got plenty of coverage in that area. We don't need you. I kept trying. Literally 3 years, I kept following up with this person. And finally, one day when I called him, he's like, yeah, you know what? We're kind of light on coverage in that area. I'll be in touch with you in the next couple of weeks, and we'll get you on board. Well, next couple of weeks went past, heard nothing. Followed up. And just being a persistent prick is basically what it comes down to. Finally, this guy sent over the information. We signed on with them. It took 6 months for us to get the first job. So after I filled out all the paperwork, provided the certificate of insurance and all of that horse shit, it took 6 months before the first job came over. And the first job wasn't like this massive, 200 unit install. It was like one basic ass repair. So you guys got to stay in there. This is not a short sales cycle in this industry that we're in. And you have to keep following up. You have to figure out a system that works for you. You have to figure out a reminder. How many follow-ups are typically required to close somebody in this game? The beauty of our business and what makes doing sales, for us cool is, for the most part, if you go out there and you sell one GPS provider or one reseller, okay, you close them on that sale and you sign up and you do that first job for them, you've literally taken that faucet and just unscrewed it, and now the water's coming in consistently. That's typically the way it works. So, once you go in there and you sell a company, boom, you opened up the floodgates and the shit's just going to come pouring in, as long as you are doing the right job for them on the back end. So as long as you're taking care of the installs correctly, as long as your paperwork is on point and you're delivering the paperwork and billing to them on a timely manner. So if you continue doing that, and you have a customer for life, literally. So it's super important that you guys follow up. I cannot stress that enough. And it's not easy to do. If you want to get fancy with it and you want to put on that salesperson's hat, there's some really kick-ass software out there that will help automate and do the follow-up for you. You can build what's called a sales pipeline, and you can keep track of who you reached out to. And basically what happens is there's different stages in the sales process. As you get deeper into this, and this is all customizable for you and your exact business, you're going to have different stages. So stage 1 is, contacting. Stage 2 is, I actually spoke with them. Stage 3 is they're going to move forward. Stage 4 is contracts, and stage 5 is closed. And every step of the way, you mark this person down in a different stage within the sales funnel, the sales pipeline, and you could have different automation kicked out to them depending at which stage they're in. And that automation could be automated text messages, automated emails. Listen, we're in a day and age where you don't have to go out and do all this shit manually. However, the manual method does work. It has worked for me for a very long time. And only a couple of years ago did we switch over and start leveraging technology to do so. I don't want to bore you with it, but there's a zillion different CRM tools out there that can help you with this. A CRM is a Jesus Christ, customer relationship management software. Lost my train of thought there for a second. Sorry. We use Infusionsoft here. I know a couple people who are on this call right now are also on the Infusionsoft bandwagon, and it's a really powerful tool. It's super advanced. It's not cheap. However, there are cheaper ones out there. Shit, there's even stuff out there that's pretty much free that will help you do this. But what I'm telling you to do is you got to keep a database of the people that you're going after, and you got to be able to keep track of how many times have I called this person. You know, listen, if you call someone 400 times and they basically tell you to fuck off after the 30th call, you know, you might want to say, all right, this one's not for us. But you got to keep track of that. You know, it's like if you don't keep track of it and pay attention to it, then you're never gonna be able to store in your head all the people that you need to reach out to and connect with. So, all right, listen, that's my rant for tonight. We're right about 20 minutes. I actually went over. I wanted to keep this around 15 minutes. But I went off on a little bit of a tangent there and dove deep into follow-up. If you guys got some value from this, which I hope you did, please feel free to like, share, comment, tell other people about this, and see what happens. On a side note, I mentioned I think I shot a message in this group a couple weeks ago, but I just wrote my first book. And I'm like super excited about it. And it's got the New Yorker in me is coming out. So the book is going to be called Unfuck Your Business. And my goal is to have it released by April 15th of this year. So stay tuned for that. I hope to have that out. And anybody here within the group who wants a copy, you know, just tell me where you are. And literally I'll send you a book, basically just cover whatever the expense is to ship it to you. And I will send you the book free of charge. So I'm going to put up like a sign-up sheet for that in the very near future. So whoever wants a book can sign up, and I'll send you it as soon as it comes out. And I have a tangible copy in my hand, which I'm super excited for. All right, guys. I hope all is well, and go out there and keep busy and keep putting cool shit in trucks. Talk to you soon.